Hey everyone, and welcome back to Journey of Footsteps, and in today's episode we will be taking a look at masks. Stay tuned. So with the current situation of the coronavirus and hopefully things getting better, gradually we're starting to see dojos opening. So what I'd like to do in today's episode is take a look at masks, two different types. One of them is one that you can make yourself at home. It's very, very simple and it's cheap to do. And it's washable, so you can reuse it. I want to begin by saying I'm not an expert. My research, all of which you can access yourself from the internet. So first of all, masks, they're not going to stop you from catching the coronavirus, and they're not going to stop you from passing it on. It's a preventative measure. The WHO has changed its advice on face masks, saying they should be worn in public where social distancing is not possible to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. I also want to draw your attention to this picture. So this picture is from a Belgium/Dutch study, and as you can see, it's of two people running. Now it's obviously a computer generated image, but this isn't a person coughing, this is a person breathing. So when they're breathing heavily from exercise, and the dots represent the moisture particles in the air that have come from the person in front's breath. And as you can see, it's spread and it's made a cloud which is now covering the person behind them. And the red dots show the larger particles which are more likely to carry the COVID-19 virus. But it just shows you, just from our breath, how much we can spread. Okay, now obviously this is set in a running scenario. If we put this in a martial arts situation, so when we're in the dojo, if we if we shout with our partner in front of us, we're just going to cloud them in our breath. And normally we don't really think too much of it, but now this could be a very serious thing. And if we're training with people who are vulnerable and we don't know if we're carrying the virus, we could potentially harm them. So we have to really make sure we're careful and we don't rush back to the dojo. We don't rush and make silly mistakes. So I also read on the BBC website that from the 15th of June in the UK, it is mandatory to wear a face mask on public transport. So let's have a look at some masks. Now, everybody's probably seen these ones. Got it up. No, that's the right way up. This is your kind of typical medical mask, and there's various different places you can buy them for lots of different prices. You can also find now, for example, Adidas have designed their own mask. A lot of fashion brands are starting to bring out their own masks if you want to be fashionable. But I found, or my mum actually found, a video on the internet of a lady who made a mask very simply out of a t-shirt. And out of one t-shirt you can make 4 masks, or you have the possibility of making 4 masks. She has 3 different sizes, so there's one for adults and kids, and then kind of in between sizes. It doesn't require any stitching, and when it's done, it will look like this. Now, I've stitched mine. You can see in these pictures I've stitched it, and it's just made out of one piece of material that folds into 3 sections. So you've actually got 3 layers of cotton here that goes over your mouth. This mask is super simple to make, so if you're watching this on YouTube, I will put a link to the lady's video in the description, and if you're watching this on Facebook, the video link will be in the comments section. So I put on the mask, I went for a run, then I did some suuuuuper and gave it a test drive, so you can see what happened in the next part of the video. And after that you'll see me try the All Japan Kendo Federation version of their mask. Take a look. Right, so mask on, just about to cycle over to the park. So far so good, it's very comfortable, it's very soft on the face, it's nice on the bridge of the nose. Only problem so far is when you breathe, it kind of pops out the top a little bit and kind of goes in your eyes. Aside from that, it's nice, it's comfortable. I'm going to video again after I've been on the run and we'll see how I get on. Okay, just finished the run. Don't know if you can see. So we did 2.05 kilometers in 10 minutes, 35 seconds. So a fairly steady pace. No problems with the mask regarding comfort. Like around the ears or around the nose, totally fine. Something you have to get used to is when you breathe in, the mask like sucks in. So it's kind of a strange feeling to begin with. And also obviously it's like very damp around your mouth. It does restrict your breathing though. So it is something that people are going to have to get used to. You're going to have to get used to. So instead of waiting until we go back to the dojo, then sticking a mask on and training, I really recommend after doing this today that you put a mask on at home, do some training, ukemi or suuuuuper, or just something to get your heart rate and your breathing up, and just get used to this feeling. So one other problem I did have when I was cycling over, I like to wear sunglasses when I'm cycling or running so that you don't get stuff in your eye, because that's really annoying. And straight away they fogged up. I tried cycling, I cycled half the way with them on, like blurred vision, which I wouldn't recommend, but just to see if I could get by. But at one point it got a little bit dodgy, so I took them off. So obviously that's one thing to consider. Okay, so just done about 60 high suuuuuper. To be honest, I didn't find it really affected me too much. It's kind of annoying with that, but you kind of forget about it. I guess it does restrict you a little bit, but I think when I was running, the point of doing the run was so that I could get really out of breath, and you do notice you get short of breath quicker, that's for sure. Is it a huge problem though? Personally I don't think so. I would say, for example, if you do suffer with asthma, it might make you nervous. The other thing is, if you feel claustrophobic, this could also be an issue for you. And there is that slight feeling of restriction, but I think a lot of it is in here, which is why I'm going to train now, personally, always with a mask on, so that when I go back to the dojo, this is not going to be an issue because I'm going to be used to it. Okay, so I've put the men on just to show you what it looks like, obviously underneath the men, but to be honest, it's actually really comfortable.
The strings on it, you don't feel them, so I can't feel anything digging in. So it's not uncomfortable in that sense. I think with some of the medical masks, where it goes behind the ear, because obviously your ear's getting squished in, if that cord is behind the ear, I think that's going to be uncomfortable. So I really like the way this mask fits. Feels comfortable, it's not in the way, and it doesn't feel any more restrictive than it did without the men. So I think that's an important point. Something else though, it feels really nice. Sounds strange, but it feels really nice at the bottom. Because obviously the men can be a little bit rough on your chin, but with this it kind of softens it and it actually makes the men feel really comfortable. Whee! Okay, so this is my attempt at what the Zen Nihon Kendo Reme have suggested. So far, no real issues. The only thing I feel is that it kind of feels very close to the bottom of my eyes, and it feels like it keeps riding up and it comes up too close. So you have to kind of pull it down. I think once I put the men on though, it will kind of keep it into place. You can tuck it and then you can put it inside your dogi like this. Right, I'm using the camera as a mirror, sorry. And you can tuck it in like this, and then it goes, obviously ties up around the back here. But I'm gonna now put a men on and see what it's like. Okay, so now I've got the men on, and to be honest, no real difference between the one that I've made and this one. I would say the only real difference is the one that I made feels a little bit more fitted around above the top of the nose and under the eyes. But apart from that, coverage wise, I think it's the same. And with the tenegui, obviously you can make as many layers as you want. This is only 2 because I just folded it in half. But obviously if you fold it in half and then half again, you could get 4. The t-shirt design, that has 3 layers. I love the fact that you've got the cool tenegui look of this mask, because it, you know, looks very kendo. I don't feel like this restricts my breathing. If I'm honest, this one, you don't get that sucking in like you do. So with the other mask, every time I breathed in, it was like very apparent that it kind of came towards my mouth. This one, it still does it, obviously, but not as much. So if that's something that you don't like, then I would say try this one first.
Okay guys, so that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful. Thank you again for tuning in to Journey of Footsteps, and I hope to see you in the next video. Don't forget, if you liked what you saw, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and also the bell button. That will let you know when we upload the next video. Thanks again, take care, be safe.